All right, everybody. I apologize. We're running just a few minutes late here. We're trying to get everybody in here. We're gonna when Lillie, our fourth, gets here, we will bring her on board um, and have her join us. I'm just don't mind me. She just said she will keep trying to get in. All right. So what I've been doing is I wanted to start these fireside chats. Because we have all of these trainings going on and interviews and all that, and we did this last week, Carlos and I, with Chris and Jana, and it was just fun. We just had a good time. We just kind of chat, and the reason I wanted to do it with you and Dawn and Lillie, because the four of us are kind of the pioneers.
We are.
And if you remember, it was just a little under 2 years ago that we all kind of came together. I reached out to Carlos. You and Dawn and I knew each other before this, and reached out to Carlos. Carlos reached out to Dawn. I reached out to Lillie, and hopefully she'll be able to get on here. Lillie, don't give up. Keep trying, because I want to see your face on here. And we started this journey, and not meeting at all in person until October of 2018 at the first convention. And Dawn was a 5K. Carlos and I were 10Ks. And we're hoping that at the next convention, Dawn was a 5K. Carlos was a 25K, and I was a 50K. And we're hoping that we're not hoping, we are going to all be significant. And Lillie was 10K. We're going to be much higher than that come August or whatever the convention is. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to just sit and have that cup of tea, thing of water, and yeah, there you go. I was gonna make a hot tea this time, but and just kind of chat and kind of share with people how this journey is and been and where we were and where we're at now. So Don, tell your story a little bit and let people know what we've been doing here.
Well, as you said, I started back in 2017. Carlos got in touch with me because Carlos and I were in a company together before, and it kind of got shut down very quickly on us. But so I didn't know much about the company, much about CBD oil. But I decided, hey, I trusted Carlos. And this is really what this is about, is building a relationship with somebody and trusting them and trusting, that they're going to take you on this journey with them to success. And so I jumped in with Carlos and Ron. And the most important thing for me in this whole experience has been very rejuvenating for me, because I really get to see how it's changed so many lives, not just on my team, but within the whole company, and how quickly we're growing, and how much success and happiness this is bringing to people. And it's a journey that I've tried many different companies and haven't had the success, especially as quickly as I had with this company. And it's a company that, each day we see more and more growth, and you just don't think that it can happen, and it continues to happen. So anybody that wouldn't want to be on a journey with a company that's growing fast, that's impacting lives, that's changing lives, that's helping people, is unbelievable to me, because working at home, most people are doing that right now, and a lot of people are out of income. And this is an opportunity to jump on board and, get another side income going. Yeah, I'm not doing this full time. I still have a JOB, but my goal is to be doing this just full time because of the impact that I can make on so many people and how I can help them. So it's just been an amazing journey. Does it have its ups and downs? It does. You're going to have peaks and valleys. But the important thing is that you don't quit. When you're in that valley, you stay there until you have to get yourself back up and go. But we all have them. We've all been there. We've been on top, we've been on the bottom, we've been in the middle. And the journey is always going to be that way, no matter what level you're at. Yay, Sister Lillie!
Hey guys! No mask!
She really So
How
the
y'all
journey is
doing?
always going to be that way. And those that are going to succeed in this industry on this journey are those that never quit. Those that continue to push forward, to jump over the obstacles or jump through the obstacles or whatever it is, and just continue to push forward. And I'm just blessed and honored to be with such an amazing group of people, you three, and just the whole company of itself. You know, Josh and Jen are just amazing. And I just couldn't be in a better place. I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed. So thank you,
Well,
Ron. Thank you for asking.
this is like, okay, shivers. You know, I mean, this is where it kind of all started for our team,
Mhm.
and getting out. I'm so happy Lillie joined us. You know, and
Yes.
Lillie and I, just kind of a little bit of background. Like Don was saying, Carlos and I knew each other. We've known each other for 4 or 5 years now, I think, and started off with that MLSP program, and then we started consulting together and doing some things. And then Lillie and I were in another company together, different teams and different places and everything. But and in meeting Carlos, he introduced me to Don, and you know we've all been in this industry, in this profession, kind of in different areas, and then all of a sudden it all just it came together. And I gotta say that, you know, Lillie and Carlos were two tough cookies to crack here, but I wasn't going to let them go, and I'm so glad that we did. But Lillie, we're just kind of chatting, and you know, what's kind of been, you know, some of the highlights over this last 2 years for you.
Oh, you
And
know
I'm glad
what?
you made it out.
Oh, me too. I guess I hadn't really logged in to StreamYard in a while. Maybe that's what happened there. But anyway, yes, I'm blessed to be here. I just couldn't be happier every single time that we have rankings and we have just, events that happen that are so amazing that just every single day there's something quite, amazing and just that makes me so proud. And like you say, it lifts up the hair. It's just it makes me have goosebumps every single time. And just couldn't be in a better place right now. The timing with Josh and Jenna, with our company, with this amazing team family that we have, just so positioned and so blessed to have, number one, the friendship, I treasure from all of you. It's just, I'm just speechless right now at this point. It's really a rewarding thing to be here and to be able to help so many people across the globe.
Yeah, you know, where when you talk about timing, there's just no question about it. This
Mhm.
company, you know, 2018, our first year in the business, it was named the fastest growing company in the world.
Mhm.
We're the biggest CBD company out there. We just continue to, you know, on Pot Day, which I'm really embarrassed in life that I didn't have any clue to what that was growing up in the 50s and 60s. That I didn't know what Pot Day was, but we did 1.7 million last year and over 5 million in one day this year during a coronavirus crisis and scare and everything else. So when people are out there going, you know, people aren't buying anything, they're just no one's. I mean, I don't know, 5 million in one day. That's a pretty good chunk of change. And but the company just keeps on. You know, one of our kind of mantras. Oh, wait, that's our brand. But one of our kind of sayings is, you know, a, a company um, created by affiliates for affiliates. And I remember, and you guys probably remember this, Josh saying at the first convention we were at that I will never change the compensation plan unless it puts more money into your pocket. And he just keeps doing that. And all of a sudden, people can get in for free. And there's a master affiliate. And just every time they announce something, it's something to put more money in our pocket. So, you know, this is an amazing journey, not just because of what the company does, but because of the family and the community that we're developing with people like Lillie and Don, and of course, Mr. Carlos. Take it away.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much, guys. It's just an honor and a blessing to be here with you guys. And Ron, I remember that day vividly when you reached out to me, right? So I mean, Dawn and I were in a bad situation, right? Because the company that we were with, on June 5th of 2018 had just gone out of business, right? And so whatever income we had at the time was dried up, and then that's panic mode, right? That's like, oh my goodness, especially for people that don't have a full-time job and you're doing this full time. So that is panic mode. And so, but then you reach out to me. I remember that it was Sunday, June the 10th. You're like, all right, Carlos, listen, because as you said, you and I have been working together on a variety of projects, mostly IT related and kind of stuff. And you always tried to get me into whatever, network marketing business that you were in. And like, I'm not interested, and like the one thing you've always said about yourself, Ron, is like, hey, you're really mushy at closing. Now I don't believe that anymore about you. Maybe you were that, but now you're a master closer. But then he said, hey, listen, Carlos, you reached out to me. I'm not being a vulture, Carlos. I know the company you were with closed down. I'm not being a vulture. I don't want you to think of me as that guy. But I've always been trying to get you with me, right, on all these different network marketing companies. I go, no, don't worry about it. I don't think of you as a vulture, deal. So you're just reaching out, trying to help, and you piqued my interest right away. So there was always that trust. It wasn't about you, because I was always about the is it a product that I can feel passionate about, right? And some of the other things that you were other businesses that you were in, it was just something that I didn't relate to, kind of, right? But then you said, Carlos, this one is CBD, and you already knew that I was into holistic health. So I'm like, man, okay, I'll take a look, absolutely, right? And I remember you gave me the free tour. It was Sunday, June 10th. It was Sunday morning. It was just before church, and I opted in. I registered really quick, and I'm on my way to church, so I didn't have time to really look at it, right? But then after that, have family stuff to do and grocery shopping, that kind of stuff. But then during the day, I'm getting pinged with emails like, man, what is this? And people are coming on my downline, like, who are these people? I haven't done anything, and I had never seen a marketing system like that, right? That actually places people on your downline. And then you confirmed that when I called you that evening. I ran, 7, 8 o'clock at night, Chicago time. And like, wow, what is this? Where are all these emails coming from? Like, I haven't done anything. And he says, well, that's the beauty of the marketing system. I'm like, wow. I found it so amazing. I'm like, okay, where do I sign up? And then you told me that Robert Hollis came out of retirement, right? The amazing Robert Hollis, the number 13th all-time, earner in the network marketing space, who just became a super affiliate, last week, he came out of retirement to join this business. I'm like, what? Robert Hollis? Him and Terry and Robert, they're already comfortably retired with multi-millions. What are they? This must be gold for them to get out of retirement to join this opportunity. This must be truly something special. At that point, I didn't question. I mean, all the other stuff, the awesome commission plan, the amazing products, from dirt to dropper, just pure, like top of the line CBD oil, and not just the CBD, everything that this company does, that you could tell the owners, Josh and Jenna, they put their passion behind it, right? They like everything that they do, they back it up with a full 60-day money back guarantee. And I love that about the company, that like everything that we put out there is going to be the best, so that when people experience it, they're going to be like, this is amazing stuff, right? Whether they choose to be just a customer or an affiliate. And I'm like, this is the kind of people that I want to associate myself with, right? And then I just dove right in, and this company has really, really just changed my life, So from being at a point of a situation where being, kind of like, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to pay my bills in July? I'm okay for June, but what's going to happen in July, to be able to start, right off the bat making income with this? I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So thank you. I thank you, Ron, for reaching out to me and not being. Can you imagine, Ron, if you like didn't want to feel like a vulture, like, oh, no, I'm not going to reach out to Carlos. He's going to think I'm a vulture, and I don't want to look like a vulture. Look at Ron is turning red.
Carlos was a vulture on me, though.
Oh yeah, I vultured on Ron.
And I would say that. Maybe I should have worn the mask, but I'm not a closer. I've been to all the schools with Tom Hopkins and how to close and question-based selling and on and on and on and on. But I've always believed in my heart that people do business and hook their little red wagon to those people they like and trust.
Mhm.
But I am pretty persistent. If you talk to Lillie, I was pretty persistent with her. There were a number of times where we were conversing while she was driving down the road.
Right.
You
I
remember
still
that?
recall that. Yo, oh my gosh. And all the questions that I had for you.
Oh,
You're like, oh my gosh, this girl's just over asking. I mean, I wanted to know, like, I'm just that way. I have to dissect everything before I jump onto anything. And you know what? I'm forever thankful. I'll never forget the time when I joined MDC. This has just been the most amazing experience. The lives were changing,
oh yeah.
and the fact that we're one of the very few companies that carry that seal of approval, that really is, I mean, that takes it home. That seal of approval, which something that if you're taking CBD and you go and buy some CBD that does not have that orange seal, I've got news for you. I mean, you better think twice before you buy it. So that's just me. I love it. I'm very proud of this company. I'm very proud of our owners, CEOs that are amazing. This young couple has done amazing things. They've done it all.
Well, Carlos kind of hit on this too, and the four of us are from so totally different walks of life. I come from big time corporate America and the military, and Dawn is she's got her son is in the military, so we have some things in common there. Lillie's in the hairdresser, right?
Cosmetology. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Carlos has been in corporate America, but self-employed. But the reality, when it comes all down to it, is, and I think Carlos put it the same way, because the company that Lillie and I were in before, I know her and I talked about it on a couple of occasions, but I just couldn't get passionate about it. The technology, it was a watch, right? Like it wasn't even a watch, but it was a device.
Yeah.
That I thought was going to maybe revolutionize things in that, but it wasn't. It was like, okay, this is really cool, but there was no passion, there was no vision. I didn't see it doing what My Daily Choice is doing. And so, Carlos, when you hit on that, I didn't realize that at the time, that I kept coming to you with passionless opportunities. I don't even know if that's a word, but I can't. For us, we're trying to, teach people how to build a business and everything else. For me, when that switch gets flicked, where the passion and the vision kick in, I'll go against anybody at that point. I'll be as persistent. I may not want to be that vulture, but I'm going to be as persistent as I can be. And because of that passion, because I know what's driving me. And like Don said, we're helping so many people. We're touching and impacting so many lives. And not only that, but you guys remember, all the people, even from 2018 to 2000, what a change. And the people that we're meeting and just how, amazing that is.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, this company is just, it truly is amazing. I remember joining my very first network marketing company in '95, right? And over the years, I joined a ton of them. I've always loved network marketing. I just was never successful at any of them until now, right? And all the other ones that I was with, whenever I would see someone having success, I'd reach out to them, right? I'd reach out to them and I'd say, hey, can you help me? Like, let's say Dawn was at that company and she was having success with Lillie. I'd reach out and nobody would help you, right? Nobody would take the time to help you and encourage you and just kind of take you under the wing. Just, just show you a couple of things, just take, 10, 20 minutes out of the day or whatever. Nobody would do it. Here, My Daily Choice, it's completely the opposite. I've never, ever been a part of a wonderful community that truly it feels like family, because everyone, you ask, I get people that ask me for help all the time, right? And I help them, right? Why? Because that's one of the things I pray for every morning. God put people on my path that I can help. I don't say, God, put people on my path that I can help, but only if I can benefit from it, right? That's not help, right? That's not help. But and that's just not me. That's everyone, right? Every single person, and we seem to attract that kind of tribe, those kind of people where everyone's got like servants' hearts, and that is truly like a special family, because I've never seen anything like this. And I've seen people leave My Daily Choice and they go to other companies because they thought the grass was greener on the other side, and they're like, oh my goodness, like, well, it's cutthroat over here, nobody helps me. My Daily Choice, I was given everything to succeed, I just didn't take any action. I go, yeah, we'll come back, we'll welcome you back, absolutely, kind of thing. But yeah, it's truly a special family of people that just really love, care, and support you, and just really like, instead of being jealous of your success, they want to see you succeed, right? They want to see you succeed, and they give you everything that you need to succeed. You just gotta, be willing to get uncomfortable, because growth is uncomfortable. There's not a single person in life that has grown, whether it's a musician, or whether it's a sports icon, or anything that you do, a business person, whatever, anything that you do in life. Whenever you make that decision, you gotta get uncomfortable. But guess what? We're here helping you, encouraging you, helping you get, better than the person that you were the day before, right? And it's just amazing seeing the growth and the glow and the light in people's eyes, like, oh my goodness, this is amazing, and that is probably like the best. That's like my favorite part about this whole thing, just seeing people's lives transformed here, and to the person that they were destined to become, because they all have greatness, they just don't know it yet, right? So yeah, it's just amazing. Yep.
Now, Don, you and I have talked about this on a number of occasions, and it's one of those things that you just don't realize. Like Carlos was saying, that when you're in another company, and I've been doing this since the '70s. And by the way, a quick shout out to Mr. Aaron Parker. He just jumped on, and
Aaron Parker.
The reality is that if Aaron hadn't reached out to me back just 2 years ago next week, and asked me to take a look at this, it was a webinar that he and Robert were doing, and I wouldn't be here, or at least I don't know where I would be. I might still be in the company, I don't know, but I doubt it. But one of the things I noticed right out, as soon as I got to be a 10K affiliate, I created a group in that, and we started, having group meetings and everything. It used to drive, I kept thinking, oh man, I don't have time all day to answer these questions and everything. And it got to the point where these two young ladies, I could not answer a question fast enough. They were jumping in and helping out, and Don, talk a little bit about that, about the support and the community and the culture. How do you?
I'm telling you, I've tried, like Carlos said, many different companies, and I have never gotten support. I've never had an upline that was so helpful, and not just one, but many. And and that's one of the things that I always tell people that I'm talking to. First and foremost, why do you want to do it? And do you want to have a business, or do you want to just take the product and purchase the product and try the product? But I said, you will never find a company that's going to give you free marketing system, the upline support. I said, if you can't reach me, you can reach Carlos, you can reach Ron, you can reach Lillie, you can reach so many other people that can help you. You can jump online and ask a question in one of our groups, and 9 out of 10 times, within seconds, somebody's going to jump on it and answer it, whether it's me or somebody else. We are all so connected in so many ways. And the biggest thing that connects us is our heart and our giving and the ability to want to see growth in other people. And that's what really makes our team such a strong team, because we've got the heart to help others succeed. We see a belief in them that they don't always see in themselves. So we're there to support them, to pick them up. Like I said, when we have the peaks and valleys, which we all do, we're there to help pick them up when we're down in that valley and we need a pickup. So it's unbelievable, the support, the family unity, the love and fellowship that we share amongst each other. Even if it's somebody you don't know, in the group and you see somebody's maybe lost a loved one, everybody's in there offering up prayers and support, and you might not even know them. And it just goes so far and such a long way. It's unbelievable. You won't find it anywhere else.
One of the
Quite a
things
family,
over
yeah.
the years that I've heard so many times with people is, when you sit down and you ask them, well, why aren't you doing network marketing? What happened? And what was the biggest, drawback that you had that made you move on and do something else or quit or whatever? And probably a majority of the time it's been, I just never got any support. I could never get anybody to help me, and we just don't find that here. And, I think Lillie touched on it a bit is that it doesn't matter what team anybody's on. It's like there are no boundaries. This is, the famous Statue of Liberty melting pot. It doesn't matter what team you're on. And it's funny to see over the last 2 years, people that came that were in the company when I got in the company, when I first started, that were very close knit. They were of that old mentality that, if you're not on my team, and all that's been broken down. And now people from teams that in the beginning were like, no, you can't see what we're doing, are inviting everybody to all of their training, because we know that, it's like the old saying, right? A rising tide floats all boats. If we have successes as a company, we all benefit from that. And I love, Robert Hollis is one of my closest friends and mentor. And, he went from somebody that had his own brand and was, people were paying him thousands of dollars to train and everything, to everything he does now is free, is open to everybody. Talk about, have you guys ever seen the movie, The Replacements, with Keanu Reeves, the football? Oh, if you've never watched that movie, it's a great movie. It's about, the NFL football players go on strike and they've got to bring in these replacements. And Keanu Reeves is the quarterback, and Gene Hackman is the coach. And one of the replacements are beating everybody. They're the Washington Sentinels, not the Washington Redskins, but in the movie, the Washington. And at the last minute, this jerk quarterback, the pro, crosses the line, and none of the replacements will support him or play. And they're all walking out the second half. They're walking out of the locker room, and the press is there. And they walk up to Gene Hackman and they say, "What is it going to take? What do they need? How are we going to make this work?" And he's got a folded up or rolled up, it's like his playbook or something like that. And he starts just smacking his chest. And she says, "What do you mean? Heart. It's going to take heart." And when you said that, if you haven't watched that movie, it's one of the best movies out there. It's funnier than I'll get out of it. It's a great movie. But when Don said that about heart, that's what this takes. When someone says to me, "Well, what's it take to build this business?" It takes heart. It takes heart. It takes that servant heart. And Lillie, you, Carlos, and Dawn, but Lillie, over the past 2 years, you are just one of those people that is an amazing servant heart. I mean, these two are sisters from a different mister. Is that what they say?
Yes,
Brothers from a different mother and sisters from a different mister. So.
We're the internet sisters, huh, Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much. It's just that I've always been passionate about, I'm in the cosmetology industry, but as I've said before, I've been in network marketing for 15 years, just part-time, but I just have so much fun, so much connection with people that it's very difficult to leave clients, and they convert into my affiliates. A lot of them are customers. So it's just all good. I love people and I love to help people, and I think that's why we connect. We all connect so well because we're all that way, Dawn, Carlos, and Ron, in the whole community. I mean, gosh, I can't say enough. Everybody's that way, and so you're going to attract what you give. If you have that heart, you're going to attract people that are that way, and I think that's what we have found here.
Yes.
Well, that's absolutely true. You know, and I think Carlos touched on that. It's like, you know, we have attracted this. You know, we used to call ourselves the team, the dream team, but it's more of the team of heart. I mean, we you know, attract. I had a couple of people reach out to me today and say, hey, you know, I really want to talk to you. I want to find out how I can take the tour because I love what your team stands for. They didn't mention I love CBD. You know, I love you know, the comp plan. You know, or all the things that Carlos was talking about. You know, I love the, you know, the system and the app and all that other stuff. I said I love what your team stands for.
Exactly. And that's what I feel. You know what? It's funny you said that, because when I first started cosmetology in my career, way long ago, they did touch on that. And it is so true that people don't come to you really because of the haircut you give them or because of the facial you've given them. Really not, yeah, they may like it, but they like you.
Yep.
You know, you've built that relationship, and it's going to be challenging for them to switch, you know, because they've already loved you and know, like, and trust you. Basically the same thing here in network marketing. It applies.
Yeah, I mean, think about places that you visit on a regular basis, right? Like your, you know, the hair salon that you go to, or like the stores that you visit, or the restaurant, your favorite restaurant. They can make a multitude of sins, right? They can make a multitude of mistakes, but if you're treated right, you know, it's like that time that you go and you sit down in the restaurant and the server is just amazing. And you get the food and it's cold and it's not what you ordered and all that stuff. And, oh, it's okay. Yeah, come on. You know? Or you get the other side of that where the server is just obnoxious and everything, and the food comes and it's what you want. And it may be good and everything else, but you sit back going, why would I tip this person? Yeah. The experience is not that good. So
it's all about emotion, and it's all about, sorry to take your word, but it just came to me. It's all about emotion. It's all about feeling. Yeah. And if you have that and you share that with people, you're going to have it made. In any industry, no matter what you do. And when you have such an industry like the one we're in, it just all comes together. Can't go wrong. Just have to keep at it and be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Do not.
Well, it's
companies already proven themselves. They've already, look at this. I mean, yeah, Ron, you touched about the over 5 million in a day. Well, you know, what else do we want? What other proof do people want?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know, and it's not a matter of, you know, it's funny how we'll be talking. Carlos and I were talking about this the other day, is how people, you know, have a job, and I don't know who, somebody was giving a testimony or talking that they started their job out at like $670 or $680 an hour, and 5-6 years later now, they, during this, you know, COVID-19 or whatever you call it, they're having to look for a job, and they'd worked their way all the way up to $10-15 an hour or something. It's like, really? You know, it took you 7-8 years to get from $6 to $10, and yet you get into network marketing and you want it tomorrow. Exactly. And the potential here is so much greater in, you know, 5 or 6 years. It's not the difference between $6 an hour and $10 an hour. It's the difference between, you know, $1,000 a month and $10, $15, $20, $30,000 a month. You know, so it's amazing how we have these perceptions, and people get into network marketing with the expressed idea that it's going to be get rich, you know, overnight. And Carlos, I'm sure you've hit that a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and I think what happens is that most people come from like an employee mindset, and I was guilty of that, right? I was guilty of that too. You know, being in corporate America for 29 years, you know, corporate logistics and stuff, and you get used to that salary, or you get used to getting paid by the hour, where you're trading your time for money, and it's a hard adjustment to make for people to go from that employee mentality to like, hey, I'm a business owner now, right? I'm going to get paid for my own like efforts now. And I can't just be sitting there behind a computer and pretend to be working or whatever the case may be. And I'm getting paid by the hour, whatever the case may be. So if I don't work then if I don't grow, right, we go back to growth, right? Because when you become a business owner, you got to take this thing seriously, like every single day. It's like, if you think about any kind of establishment that opens up, whether it's a hair salon or a restaurant or a tax preparation place, it doesn't matter, right? Well, guess what? They've got to now treat it like a business, right? And they got to find a way to get customers and keep the customers happy, keep the customers coming back, so on and so forth, and keep everything running smooth. And people think because for example, here at My Daily Choice, they can get started for free. But well, okay, how do I make money? Well, let's start training you, right? Let's start training you, start working on your mindset, and people got to understand, coming into network marketing, this is a realistically a 1 to 3 year like of you working on your business hard, right? And for that 3 years, you're really planting a lot of seeds. And then you start, and don't get me wrong, you can start seeing benefits immediately like we did, right? Yeah. But realistically, to get to the kind of income desired levels that you really want, right? This is like a 1 to 3 year project, right? Easily 1 to 3 year project. But it comes from the mindset of removing that employee mindset where you're trading time for money instead of now, hey, I'm going to get rewarded according to my own efforts, right? If I work hard and follow instructions and I'm coachable, then I can, potentially make a lot of money with this. Or if I don't, or I do just the opposite, then, you're not going to make anything, right? And so that's one of the biggest transitions, that people have to make with this, and but I think most of them do. Like I think with a little bit of coaching and follow up and encouragement, and you kind of work with people, so a lot of them do make that, able to make that shift, they were to make that shift. But I'll tell you what, the hardest thing though, and Les Brown talks about this a lot, right? The hardest shift to make is, people think that fear is the biggest killer of dreams, and he said no, it's not fear, it's comfort, right? People get comfortable, right? And this was me. I had my nice little cushy paycheck from UPS for 21 years, that kind of stuff. And when you're comfortable, you can start a little side business in network marketing, but it's okay if I fail or don't do good with it. I don't need to really grow in network marketing because I've got my nice little cushy paycheck here with my main job kind of thing, right? And it's that comfort level that keeps people stuck forever, and it keeps them from achieving their dreams. And just like he says, Les Brown says is, hey, when he asked this question, when I was listening to one of his motivational speeches on YouTube, he says, do you know where the richest part of the world is? The richest part of the planet, where it's at? And I'm guessing, okay, it's Hollywood, or it's Silicon Valley, or it's the country of Luxembourg, which is a very rich country. And I'm thinking like that. Nope. He said, it's the cemetery. And I'm like, what does he mean by the cemetery? He says because more people go to their grave with the song and their dreams still in their heart because they were too afraid to take a chance and step out of that comfort zone. And he's right on point with that. So.
Oh man, yeah. So that comfort zone for years, I was making mid six figures in corporate America, had expense accounts. And I'd get involved with a network marketing company on the side. And, if it didn't work, it didn't work. I was comfortable. I had things made. It wasn't until I decided that there was something else involved with this profession, which is that passion and vision that needs to drive. And so Michael Beckwith, I love his quote that the pain pushes you until your vision pulls you, and until you get that vision in your heart. Because like Don said, there are days. I'm on heart medication that puts me asleep, and it's not because I take their sleep spray accidentally. I did that one time. Okay, one time. Carlos and I were talking, and I said, "Oh, let me take a boost," and I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah. Later, I was asleep. But I've got a bad shoulder right now. This shoulder is totally gone. They need to replace it, and because of everything that's going on, I could go on and on and on. Right? I'm going to be 68 years old. I've been through some physical. Being in the military and special forces and stuff, I've gone through some pretty hard things in life. And I remember Ray Higdon saying to me one time, not too long ago, what's that got to do with anything? I'm like, what do you mean? Come on. Get on my bandwagon. Aren't you come on, cheer me on, It's like, what's that got to do with anything? Do you want this or not? Do you have a vision or not? Are there people out there that need you to tell your story or not? What's this up to? So if this is my attempt at a segue. So if you had to tell somebody, give them some advice, a new person coming on board, Don, what would you tell them?
What is it that you want to do? What do you want out of this opportunity? What are you looking for? Those are the kinds of questions I ask.
Absolutely. I mean, because that's what's going to drive it. You know, we've all talked about there are ups and downs in this, and those days when you wake up and, you know, Carlos and I'll be talking sometime, and you know, you'll hear me yawn. You know, it's like, okay, I need a nap, right?
Yeah, you and Carlos get those afternoon little naps in.
Oh no, that is not a bed over there. That is but you know, you with those ups and downs, it's okay if it goes like this. You want it to go like this, right?
Yeah.
And I can't move that wrist very well, but it, you know, it's you want those ups and downs to always be taking you up, and the extremely exciting thing about not just this company. What this company has done, in my opinion, has created an environment for us to thrive in. Mm-hmm. That's what's important for me. It created an environment and continually, you know, nurtures that environment, makes that environment better so that all of us can thrive. Whatever that might be. For us, it's our heart and the ability and the opportunity to touch people's lives and that. But I've been in a lot of companies and the environment didn't let us do that. You know, there was always something that, you know, you've all, I'm sure, been in those companies where it's like, and I know the one that Lillie and I were in, we were always saying, oh yeah, but that feature's coming. Someday that feature's going to come. Don't worry about that right now. Well, you know, that there's always something that you had to kind of skirt around. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. We're not going to talk about that. MDC is always either in the process of addressing any of those, which there's, you know, virtually none. But I mean, it's like the international expansion and you know, Carlos and Lillie and I working on Spanish translations and, you know, all of this stuff. And now Robert's in the middle of it. And, you know, there's just every day I wake up thinking, what are they going to do next? What are they going to do next? They've created an environment that is conducive to all of us expanding our lives, expanding our goals, our dreams, our passions, and our visions. So we have been on here 42 minutes, and you know, we'll talk.
Doesn't seem like it.
I know it doesn't seem like it, like when you're having fun. So.
You know, Ryan, when we were talking about the peaks and valleys, in a business to be successful, you need the valleys because that's where you grow.
Absolutely.
That's where you really dig deep within yourself and you find what is it I need to do differently or what is it that I need to change to continue to grow my business. So to be successful, you need the peaks and valleys. It's when you're in that valley, do you make the change and do you persevere and push through it or do you stay stuck?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the challenge.
I love it.
You take the effort to get out of the valley and into the peak again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what makes you strong. And finally, I'd like to throw something in and make a recommendation if you'll.
Of me? Or everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, I've started reading this book. It's called
It's an amazing book.
I think I have that book.
I mean, if you can just, you know, what I've gotten out of it is don't stop. Keep doing little by little. You're going to get there. Little by little. You don't want to just fly through it. You want to just be consistent. Consistency every day in and day out, That's what's going to get it.
The momentum takes over, right, Lillie?
There's that Darren Hardy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Darren Hardy's compound effect. And in fact, I think Albert Einstein was the one that said, what did he say? Something about that the most powerful thing in history was compound interest, that compound effect. And you're right, is as we keep being consistent, that's why it goes like this, because you're going down that valley and you keep going back up, you keep going. And each time, just like Don was saying, each time you go in that valley and you learn something to become better, the next peak is higher than the valley. Then the next peak is higher and the next peak is higher. Okay, so let's do this.
Okay.
Don, start with you. Final last words. What words of wisdom and as while we're sitting in front of the fire and drinking our coffee and tea, and what would you give to the team, to the world, to the people out there that whether they're in our company or whatever company, what would you say would is the most kind of important thing that they need to work on in their lives and be
I would have to say, don't let fear overcome you. Take the challenge, face on, and beat it.
awesome, awesome,
Mhm.
right? Fear. There's only one way to get fear, through fear, right? Take that action.
Take it head on and beat it.
Yep. All right,
Yep.
Lillie.
I would have to say to work on yourself.
Mhm.
If you don't work on yourself, you're not going to make it. Your
Amen.
mindset.
Mhm.
Your
Amen.
mindset. When you have a very strong mindset, nothing's going to take over. You're not going to be deteriorated, or you're just not going to allow any fear or anything else get in the way, or anyone get in your way.
Absolutely. That's certainly another one high on my list. Mr. Carlos.
I would have to say freedom. All right, freedom. It comes always with a sacrifice, right? It comes with a price that you have to pay. And if you're listening to this message out there, right, and perhaps you're one of the lucky ones that still has your job, right? There's millions that, I mean, even just here in America. I mean, if you listen to this internationally, the number's even greater, right? That have lost your job. And I see, like, for example, certain government authorities coming down, on people that want to start a work from home. And I see the only reason is one reason. They want to keep the person a slave to the system. That's it. They don't want them to find the freedom and, have the power, right? They want people to depend on government, right?
Mhm.
And I'm here to tell you, freedom only comes when you have you have the control, and you do have the power. When you realize that you've got greatness within you, right? And then you can do this. You guys can totally do this. If I can do this, Don can do this, Lillie can do this, Ron can do this, you guys can totally do this. Break free from that rat race and look at, if you don't have a job, look at that like a blessing. Don't look at it as a curse. Because if I look at when Don and I, when the company that we were with went out of business, a lot of people kind of looked at that as like, oh my goodness, how bad, how unfortunate. But really, me having my back against the wall, and Don the same way, it forced us, right, to take action, right? Because when your back is against the wall like that, and you're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay the rent, the mortgage, whatever the case may be? It gets you into action mode. So if you don't have any kind of income right now, look at it as a blessing. Use the time now to make a decision and take action, because now is the time to create your freedom. Now, is it going to come at a cost? Yeah, that sacrifices that you're going to need to get uncomfortable, right? And you don't learn anything unless you get uncomfortable. So I love using the analogy of riding a bicycle. So think about when you were back, 5, 6 years old. I mean, think about like, oh my goodness, this is so scary. I got to learn to ride a bike, but I'm going to fall down. I'm going to bruise myself. I'm going to, bleed. Yes, you are. Same thing here. It's going to get scary sometimes, and that's okay, because but you know what? You're going to look back and just like when you rode the bike, man, I can ride the bike now. The freedom that you feel, it's the same thing here, right? But you're going to love the growth of the person that you become, that you're no longer a slave to the system, that you create your own freedom. And there's nothing like freedom when it's in your own hands. But you got to make that decision. You got to make the choice. And there's no better time than now, because if you go back to the job, guess what? You're going to get back to that comfort zone. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a job. There's plenty of awesome jobs around. But if you've got that calling in your heart that you're destined for something greater, and you want to do something more than just, work at a job for 40 years, there's no better time than now. Just make a decision, get back to the person that shared this video with you and say, I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to be coached and helped. I'm ready to take the free tour. And I'm telling you, you will not regret it. That's all I got to say. Thank you, Ron.
Three amazing things. I'm just looking, we fear, mindset, freedom. I'm looking at some of the things Beth mentioned: consistency, perseverance, share this amazing gift for the world. But I gotta side with Sonia on this one because my input would be vision. You need to, I was always taught, and I think it's a good saying as it is, but you need to have that why that makes you cry. Well, I think more important, you need that vision. I think your why is a part of that vision, but your why is got commercial value to it. When people say, yeah, my why is I want to help a bunch of people feed the world. I want to, buy a bunch of food for the homeless and everything else. And then you get, oh, good boy, Ron. It's so nice of you to do it. There's some commercial value to that because it's something that's kind of outside of it. Your vision, though, is that vision, that journey that you want to go on to the person that you want to become. Where's this journey that you're going on, and how many people can I take on this journey with you? And that's why, again, I love that saying that, the pain in our life pushes us until that vision pulls us. And once you have that vision and it's pulling you, guess what? It gets to pull Carlos, it gets to pull Lillie, it gets to pull Dawn until they get their own vision. And then they start pulling people and they start pulling people. And you wake up in the morning and that vision of yours is so strong that no matter how you feel or what's going on, you know that there's no option. I've got to continue. If I'm going to be the person I want to be, if I'm going to impact the lives that I want, if I'm going to change the world one person at a time, if that's my vision, then I don't have time to feel bad or tired or anything else. So I think you put all of these things together, getting past your fear, working on your mindset. I would put mindset up there about 98% of this business because it kind of encompasses all of it, and getting and working for that freedom that we have. And having, like Beth says, the persistence and the consistency and the commitment to do it. If you're a person that is willing to do those things, you have the ability and you have been given an opportunity with us tonight to make some incredible changes and create a legacy for your family. I'm going to leave you with this call to action. You're going to make a choice tonight. We really haven't talked. We've talked about our company, and if you don't know who MDC is, My Daily Choice, or Hempworks is, then I would contend you're probably living under a rock. Because there's just, I get people now that reach out to me and say, "You're in that Hempworks thing, aren't you? You're in My Daily Choice." It's like, you realize that Kleenex is a brand, it's not a thing, and yet we all call Kleenex a Kleenex, right? A bath tissue or a tissue is now called Kleenex because that's what CBD. People think Hempworks. It's just the way it is. And pretty soon it's going to be. So there's no question about it. Even though what business and what company we're with. If you're not in our company and you're not in our business, you're going to make a choice. Some of you are going to say, no, I need more information. That's a choice. I need more information. I need more time. I need to do this. That's a choice. You just need to decide what choice you're going to make. Are you going to make that choice that says, you know what? Let me take the free tour and check this out. This sounds like something that could change my life. Or are you going to be the one that says, yeah, maybe later. I'm okay right now. Maybe later. It's up to you. You will make a choice. There's no getting around it. You'll either make a choice to do nothing, you'll make a choice to wait, to procrastinate, or you'll make a choice to reach out to somebody that shared this video with you and say, hey, look, just let me take the free tour. Let me watch some videos. It's all free. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't even cost you anything to get started with our business, start making money. You can have a check following Thursday, right? But you need to make that choice. So, Lillie, I am so honored and blessed to be on this journey with you. Dawn, I can't thank you enough. I was glad we talked today because we hadn't talked to
We hadn't talked for a while.
Seen our faces.
I know. And Carlos, as always, my brother in the Lord, I'm honored and blessed. We have such an amazing community here in culture, and I just can't thank you guys enough. So God bless you all. Go back to your families and have the rest of your evening, an amazing evening. And for those of you who are on this, I thank you for joining us on this short little fireside chat. So God bless you all.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Thank you, Carlos and Lillie.
Bye, Lillie. Bye, Don. Bye, everybody. God bless.
Bye, everybody.
God bless you guys.